There are conversations that you can have right now that can put you in position to achieve all of your goals. So in this episode, I'm talking about 3 powerful conversations that will take you from wanting more in your life to achieving excellence for your life. And be sure to stick around for the entire episode because the last conversation is going to blow your mind. So let's go. Welcome to another episode of the Dream Lifestyle Podcast. My name is Trevón Jr., and I'm excited to have you here because this is the place where we talk all things achieving excellence for your goals. So if you have a goal, if you feel stuck, if you find yourself wanting more in your life, this is the place for you. So be sure to subscribe, be sure to like, be sure to comment, especially on today's episode because we're talking about powerful conversations. All right. And conversations are super important just because we have so many of them. We interact with so many people on a day-to-day basis. And we really want to make sure that those conversations are had in a way that moves us forward, that they're had in a way that keeps us accountable. They're had in a way that challenges us. Basically, they're had in a way that keeps us in position to be successful. All right. And I'm going to be sharing with you 3. I'm going to be giving you 3 powerful conversations that you can have right now. And I can tell you right now that these conversations are not what you think. There's only one external conversation that you can have. The other 2, you probably haven't heard about them before. So be sure to stay tuned for the entire episode. And if you haven't by now, please pick up your copy of a free dream workbook. It's been revamped, it's been updated, it's been modified, it's been improved. So be sure to look in the description link below and grab your copy of the dream workbook. Now, the first conversation that you can have right now, the very first powerful conversation that you can have in your life right now to put you in position for success is a conversation with a coach or a mentor. And the reason why you want to have this conversation is because your coach or your mentor is going to be able to shine light on your blind spots. They're going to be able to identify areas to you that you really need to work on. They're almost going to be able to, not even almost, they're going to be able to assess what areas you actually really need to focus on because not all problems are the same. Not all areas of improvement are the same. They're not ranked the same. Your coach is going to be able to point out to you, hey, rather than you focus on A, you really need to focus on C. Hey, rather than you focus on, doing that, why don't you worry about that? Like, they're going to help you be on track. They're going to help keep you accountable to whatever it is because in those honest conversations, and this is also assuming it's a good coach. You want to make sure you have a good coach. Good coaches get coached. It's one way to tell. But even if it's a mentor, those conversations with your coach or with your mentor help keep you on track. They help keep you focused because those are constant conversations that keep the goal in front of you. All right. And they're conversations that challenge you to act. All right. They're conversations that challenge you to act because, again, there is something so powerful when you are sharing with another individual who is very unbiased. Who is unbiased and very objective to your entire life, that is really rooting for you in the same way as if they were your closest friend, that you're sharing with them and they're telling you, hey, you need to do boom, 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 do 1, 2, 3, 4 different things. And you execute on them week to week based on whatever it is you've set up with your coach or if it's a mentor. It's not about a money thing. Now, I would say, you should pay for a coach. You absolutely should because they're going to help you from bumping your head. But this is about just the conversation. The conversation that you can have with a coach can be so powerful. The conversation that you can have with your mentor is so powerful. So you guys know that I'm all about practicality. So if you don't have a coach, if you don't have a mentor, do something. Do something to be to get a coach or get a mentor. I would love to be your coach because I just love this space. It's my purpose to do it. But be sure to get a mentor, get a coach, however way, shape, or form. All right. Get in the room, as I said in the past episode. But yeah, leave me a comment on what you think. If you're somebody, matter of fact, if you're somebody that has a mentor, shout them out right now in the comments below, just to show them some love because those people are really helping you stay accountable. Okay. Now, the second conversation that you can have right now, the second powerful conversation that can put you in position to achieve your goals is your conversation with fear. All right, your conversation with fear. And the reason why this is a conversation is because fear is always going to exist. And if you know of anyone that says, I'm not afraid of anything and I'm fearless, and it's not true. Every single person has fear. It's only a matter of what they do with that fear. And in this terms of what we're talking about, it's only a matter of the conversation they have with that fear that allows them to be successful, right? When you think about the fear that you may experience, the only conversation that you should be having with your fear is no. The only conversation of fear that you should be having is, I won't let you ruin my life. I won't let you hold me hostage. Those are the types of conversations that you should be having with your fear. All right. And it's a powerful conversation because there's a lot of us, at least I'll speak for myself, that we can very easily identify what we're afraid of. I'll give you guys a real example. When I first started Craft Your Dream, I just wanted to help people, and that was that. I didn't really know how I was going to do it. I didn't know the most efficient way to do it. I didn't know the most effective way to do it. I just knew in my heart I wanted to help people that had goals and that had dreams. And as I started to learn the business, as I started to learn the business side of what I wanted to do with Craft Your Dream, I saw that I needed to learn how to be in front of a camera, that I needed to learn how to do media and all this different stuff. And I've been blessed to help a lot of people start podcasts and do a whole bunch of stuff. It's an absolute blessing. I love it. But when I first started out, I had a conversation with fear that was like, I don't want to be in front of a camera. Like, that's a lot of work. That's like all this fear, self-doubt, and limiting beliefs. Just, I'm having conversations with those things. But it was a decision. It was a conversation that I had to make, a choice I had to make, that I was not going to allow the fear of me being in front of a camera. I was not going to allow the doubt of my ability to speak and perform in front of a camera. I wasn't going to allow the limiting belief that I wasn't going to be effective in front of a camera hold me back from doing what I'm doing. And that's what you see today. And even now, because I said, fear, it really is similar to energy. It doesn't get destroyed. You can only turn the volume down, but you can never really destroy it. Even now where I'm at, it's the thought of, well, what if someone doesn't like what I say? And that's a conversation that I have with myself. If I'm being transparent, that's a conversation I have with myself where I think about when I put out these episodes. It's like, well, are people really listening? Do people really understand what I'm saying? What if nobody likes what I'm saying? What if nobody believes you? All of these different conversations that I have when it comes to doing this podcast, right? And I'm being transparent because I really want you to apply it to whatever it is in your life. But again, that's a conversation that I've drawn the line with, and I've answered what's at stake if I don't do this stuff. And it's allowed me to sit here every single week and deliver a message and deliver information and give you value in a way that not only hits home, but causes action. Because that's the whole purpose of this podcast. The entire purpose of this podcast is to help people take action towards their dreams. And you do that through achieving excellence in the process. Okay. And for me, that was my experience with that conversation with fear. But it was a conversation that always ended the same way. It always ended with me saying no, me saying I will not let you stop me, whatever the case may be, so on and so forth. But that is a powerful conversation because it's a conversation that you have to be consistent in. It's a conversation that you have to be confident in. It's a conversation that you just have to be strong in. And there are going to be days where you're not going to feel like doing it. There's going to be days, even with the conversation, where you feel like fear is winning and everything like that. But when you learn how to master that conversation with your fear, you will see your life go to a whole different level. Because a lot of times, and this is me coaching you, your fear guides you. All right. You don't have to bow to your fear. You can use your fear as a guide rather than a handicap. All right. I could go more into it, but make sure you connect with me and I'll be able to fully explain what that means to you. But think about that for a second. The conversation that you have with your fear when you want to start the business, when you want to actually go for a certain position, when you want to go back to school, just whatever it is, whatever your goal is, whatever it is that you want to create, whatever that conversation with fear is, make sure that that conversation is powerful by it always ending the same way of basically turning down the volume on that fear and taking action. Okay. Now, the third powerful conversation that you can have to put you in position to achieve your goals is your conversation with your opportunity. All right. So in the same way we have conversations with fear, we have conversations with opportunity. And this is a conversation that I don't think enough people have. I don't think enough people actually have enough conversations and enough focus and enough thought and enough foresight to think about the opportunity with whatever decisions that they want to make. Because so often we focus on the reason why it's not going to work. We focus so much on why it's going to be difficult. We focus so much on the constraints, and we just basically like create these false constraints on why whatever it is that has been placed in our hearts to do, why it's not going to work. But it's very important and it's powerful that we start having more conversations about opportunity. Have more conversations with the opportunity that you have to build your platform. Have more conversations with your opportunity about what it will look like when you are in whatever position is that you're going for, whatever it may be. You need to have conversations with your opportunity. Ask yourself empowering questions. We talk about this in our power experience, where you need to ask yourself empowering questions. What if it works? What is it gonna look like when you make the six figures? What is it gonna look like when you're no longer afraid of the things that you're afraid of now? Like, how great is it going to be when you are everything and consistent and all the goals that you have? How great is it going to be? Right? Those are the conversations. And this is like some real self-talk, right? Like, again, these are real powerful conversations that you can have with yourself, because if you can find yourself, and this is basically how all three of the conversations work together. If you find yourself having more conversations with your opportunity, and you find yourself turning down the volume on fear, and even in those conversations with fear, they're consistent in you always say no to your fear. I will not let you hold me back. And you have a coach or a mentor that is helping you, lead you and guide you and keeping you accountable to whatever it is that you want to achieve. There's no way you can fail. There is no way you fail when you have the right conversations about your opportunity. There's no way you can fail when you are consistently kicking fear in the face and saying, no, you will not hold me hostage. And when you have the right mentor and the right coach leading you, holding you accountable, and challenging you to be all that God has created you to be. All right. And when you do these, when you have these three powerful conversations, and they're consistent conversations. So it's not even a matter of if you choose to have them, you're going to have these conversations. It's just a matter of what you're going to do when the conversation occurs. Okay. The only choice of these conversations, I would say, is a coach or mentor, which, like I said earlier, if you don't have a coach or a mentor, please go get one. Be sure that you are making the right choice with each of these conversations. And I want to hear from you. So if you're somebody that you understand what I'm saying and you're like, man, like I never thought about having conversations with my opportunity, write down in the comments below or just respond to me and let me know what you think about your opportunity. What opportunities are in front of you right now? All right, let me know, because I want to hear. Because understand, when you start focusing ahead and when you start focusing on what is possible, you will start working that way. And when it's in your mind, it'll drop down to your heart and it'll come out of your hands. All right. But those are the three powerful conversations that you can have that will put you in position to achieve your ultimate goals and achieve excellence for your life. All right. So I hope this episode helped you. I hope that this episode, again, inspires action, because that's what this thing is all about, inspiring action. If you haven't, be sure, again, pick up your dream workbook. Check out the last episode where I talked about personal growth, where I got real about personal growth, not talking about as a concept, but really got nitty gritty with just what personal growth is. So be sure to check out the last episode. I appreciate you. Remember, your dream is possible as long as you're willing to work for it. And always remember, you're great. So act like it.